Ladies and gents, welcome back to another episode of Mike's Gourmet Kitchen. Today we are going back to some delicious cake Malay dishes. In our previous video, I'll link it at the top, we prepared a delicious cake Malay curry. In today's video, we are preparing a lamb Bredie, also known as cake Malay lamb stew. Now, it's a very simple recipe, very few ingredients, and it's absolutely delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you do, drop a like down below, comment and subscribe. Let's get cooking. Alrighty, first up, in the meanwhile, this prep is going to take about 10 minutes or so. You guys will see it happen in 2 minutes. We're going to start off by preheating our oven to 180 degrees C. You can switch on the top and the bottom of the oven. It'll work ideal. We are going to be using it a bit later. So let's start off with our onions. I'm going to grab 3 red onions, clean them off nicely. Then we'll move on to preparing our potatoes for the mash we're going to be making with this. Some delicious cream mash, as well as chopping up some tomatoes. Alrighty, onions all chopped. Let's move on to peeling our potatoes and chopping some tomatoes. And there we go, tomatoes are all done. Let's move on to our potatoes. Potatoes are pretty simple. We are going to keep the skin on. I want a nice, solid, rustic texture to the potatoes because we are going to be adding some butter and cream. You could remove the skins, doesn't really matter. And you can go ahead, prepare this. So I work it out about 2 potatoes per person when making mashed potatoes. That should be ideal. If there's a little bit left over, throw it in the freezer or use it the following day. Okay guys, sorry for this. The camera seemed to have stopped recording. This is some lamb chunk chops, some lamb cubes. I've already cut up some of it. It's flavored with some normal black pepper, some garlic pepper, iodized table salt. I want it to absorb into the meat, not coarse salt. About 1 tablespoon of olive oil, as well as about 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, which is a bit unconventional, but it does give a nice kick to the meat. From here on, let's move to our wok. We're going to dress this in some flour and fry it in a non-stick wok. You could add some oil if you want, about 1 or 2 tablespoons, and that's about it. You don't want to get the dough soggy, you just want to get some nice color on the meat. I grabbed about 5 or 6 sprigs of some fresh rosemary from the garden. We're just going to chop these up nicely. Cool, rosemary all chopped. Let's move on to preparing our lamb. Oil's nice and hot. Let's start adding our meat. Let's start with our flour. Got about 5 tablespoons. You can use all-purpose flour, cake flour, self-raising, doesn't really matter. Okay, off camera I did add about 1 tablespoon of thyme. Let's go ahead and add some flour to the opposite sides. Alrighty, so we've added some brown color. Here's the other half of the batch of the lamb. Just like a light gold brown. We'll pull this from the pan and start assembling our casserole. And now for assembly. I've got about a 5-litre Marinex bowl here. I'm going to start off by layering down our tomatoes. Add our onions. Season with some salt. I'm using store-bought fine black pepper. One teaspoon of brown sugar. Some rosemary that we chopped earlier. And then lastly, something that's not normal to the recipe, I add some fresh coriander. Then back to our tomatoes. You can top off the remaining bits with some more tomato. Some of our onions. Perfect. Now this is going to get wrapped in some foil and it's going into the oven for about 2.5 hours. Depends, you can push it for 3 to 4 hours on lower heat. I typically tend to do 2 hours, 2.5 to 2 hours 45 minutes, maximum 3. Alright, I'll see you guys then. And there we go. After about 2.5, almost 3 hours in the oven, we've got our delicious lamb bredie. Some fresh coriander and some nice green peas. Peas you can do either fresh. I prefer to use peas in a can, so that's perfect. Okay, beautiful. So let's go ahead and give it a taste. So here's some of the mashed potato we prepared. It's just got some butter and some fresh cream, and yeah, the whole potatoes that we used with the skin on taste absolutely amazing. And now for the bredie itself. Let's grab some of the meat, the tomato, the onion, everything together. There we go. That is so good. My goodness, I hope you guys try this recipe. If you do, tag us on Instagram, Facebook, and share your beautiful recipes with us. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like down below, comment and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.